All right, guys, what's up? Bradley here, coming to you with another video. Kind of a strange topic today just to be randomly talking about, but after talking with my wife, I just felt like it's important to share this type of video, and that is about scammers and con artists that are online, y'all.
This is the scam mobile.
It's getting really crazy out there. It's getting really bad on the internet. I don't know if you have noticed, first and foremost, that you're getting a lot more spam calls on your phone and spam emails. I know that I am, and I've talked to several people that are like, man, me too. I'm getting all of these spam calls. That is because it's not by coincidence. Your data is being sold, okay, to major companies, to places all around the world. Your data, your privacy, it's being leaked, it's being sold. It's not a coincidence. And so a lot of these big tech companies, these big tech gurus, these big CEOs of tech companies, if you look it up, you will see that they've all been in court at one time or another over data leaks and privacy issues. It's truly like the wild, wild west online right now. Like, it's uncharted territory a lot of times. Even these big IT people and these technicians, like, a lot of them are still paving the way in our technology that's advancing so fast. AI is advancing so very fast. People are being scammed like crazy online that never dreamed they would be scammed. I have been personally scammed, and I'm going to share my story with you here in just a few moments. It was a very long, elaborate scam. And so there's people in my circle that I know very well, very close, that have been scammed. There's people even that I know right now that I believe are being scammed, and they're so lost in it. Whether it's because you've been hurt, maybe you've lost somebody and you're in grief, maybe it's financial issues, whatever it is, these scammers and these con artists, they work on vulnerable people. Okay. And so you would never think that it would be happening to you. You think they're authentic. You think it's real. But the reality is it's a scam, and it can end very dangerously. There's a new Netflix documentary my wife and I watched. It's called Sweet Bobby, the Catfish Stalker. And basically, this woman is led on for over 10 years of her life thinking that this guy was going to be her future husband, and it was a fake account. It's just crazy what the lengths that people will go to. They will empty your bank account and move on to the next person like it's nothing. And so it's getting crazy out there. There's this interview between Tucker and Elon Musk, and he's talking about how quick AI is advancing and why there needs to be tighter parameters maybe on AI. And I want to show you a little bit of this interview, and then we're going to talk some more. So let's check it out.
So all of a sudden, AI is everywhere. People who weren't quite sure what it was are playing with it on their phones. Is that good or bad?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about AI for a long time, since I was in college, really. It was one of the things that, the sort of 4 or 5 things I thought would really affect the future dramatically. It is fundamentally profound in that the smartest creatures, as far as we know, on this earth are humans, is our defining characteristic.
Yes.
We're obviously weaker than, say, chimpanzees, and less agile, but real smarter. So now what happens when something vastly smarter than the smartest person comes along in silicon form? It's very difficult to predict what will happen in that circumstance. It's called the singularity. It's a singularity like a black hole, because you don't know what happens after that. It's hard to predict. So I think we should be cautious with.
So he's literally comparing AI to singularity and a black hole right now, y'all. Like, meaning when you go into a black hole in space, you have no idea where you're going, what's going to happen, what the outcome on the other side will be. Like, that's what he's saying about AI. Right now, we're just rolling with it. We're like flying into that black hole, but we really have no idea how fast this could really take off, and what the outcome and what it could be on the other side. Let's listen in some more.
AI, I think there should be some government oversight, because it affects it's a danger to the public. And so when you have things that are a danger to the public, like, let's say, so food and drugs. That's why we have the Food and Drug Administration,
Right.
And the Federal Aviation Administration, the FCC, We have these agencies to oversee things that affect the public, where there could be public harm. And you don't want companies cutting corners on safety and then having people suffer as a result. So that's why I've actually for a long time been a strong advocate of AI regulation. So that I think regulation is...
So there it is right there. And I don't know if you've seen this interview before, but Elon Musk is even, and I don't know what all went on between him and the president and why they parted ways. I don't really care about all that right now. What I'm saying is, here's a guy that is pretty intelligent, okay? He's accomplished so much just in life already. And so, when somebody like this says, hey, hold up, we need to be careful with AI. We need to put some regulations on it. I'm an advocate for having parameters and regulations on AI. And that's what he's saying here. And I feel like it's just blowing past everybody. Nobody's listening to this. Now maybe there are some people that are thinking about putting some parameters and regulations on it. But as of now, it's very little. Like, I mess around a little bit with AI myself in some different platforms, and I can say that there are a little bit of gauges even on those platforms, but that's at a user level. He's talking about it at like software level, like the way it's developing and how fast AI is learning and developing. So let's listen on.
It's not fun to be regulated. It's somewhat arduous to be regulated. I have a lot of experience with regulated industries because obviously automotive is highly regulated. You could fill this room with all the regulations that are required for a production car just in the United States, and then there's a whole different set of regulations in Europe and China and the rest of the world. So very familiar with being overseen by a lot of regulators. And the same thing is true with rockets. You can't just willy-nilly, shoot rockets off, not big ones anyway, because the FAA oversees that.
I love how down to earth this dude is, though. Like, you can't just shoot off a rocket willy-nilly. Like, he's like, there's regulations, and you got to abide by those regulations. But the bigger point that he's trying to build here, I'm sure you can see it, that he's making is, listen, if we have regulations on this, if we have regulation on cars, if we have regulations on food, if we have regulations on all of these things, and AI is just wide open, like, come on, guys, it doesn't make any sense. So let's listen on.
And then even to get a launch license, there are probably half a dozen or more federal agencies that need to approve it, plus state agencies. So I've been through so many regulatory situations. It's insane. And sometimes people think I'm some sort of like regulatory maverick that sort of defies regulators on a regular basis, but this is actually not the case. Once in a blue moon, rarely I will disagree with regulators, but the vast majority of the time, my companies agree with the regulations and comply. Anyway, so I think we should take this seriously, and we should have a regulatory agency. I think it needs to start with a group that initially seeks insight into AI, then solicits opinion from industry, and then has proposed rulemaking, and then those rules, will probably, hopefully, grudgingly be accepted by the major players in AI, and I think we'll have a better chance of advanced AI being beneficial to humanity in that circumstance.
So, not only, what I love about this interview is not only is Elon Musk saying like, hey, yeah, we need regulations. Even if it's, even if it's a grudge that you're holding as you're taking that regulation and complying, you need to comply. We have to comply with all of these other regulations, so why not with AI? But not only is he saying all of that, but he's actually giving a proposed plan right here. I mean, you heard it. Like, he's saying this is what needs to happen. There needs to be a proposed rulemaking. Like, there needs to be a company. All I know is he's laying out literally a plan, like an ABC. Like, this is what needs to happen. And yet I haven't seen anybody or not that I've heard of, take that as serious as what he's saying it is. It's so wide open, guys. We have got to get this under control. We've got to get, honestly, for our kids' sake, for the next generation and the generation after that, like social media even, not even just AI, social media and AI. Like, there's got to be better parameters and better regulations on these things. Let's listen on.
Regulations start with a perceived danger, and planes fall out of the sky, or food causes botulism.
Yes.
I don't think the average person playing with AI on his iPhone perceives any danger. Can you just roughly explain what you think the dangers might be?
Yeah, so the danger, really, AI is perhaps more dangerous than, say, mismanaged aircraft design or production maintenance or bad car production, in the sense that it has the potential, however small one may regard that probability, but it is non-trivial. It has the potential of civilizational destruction. There's movies like Terminator, but it wouldn't quite happen like Terminator, because the intelligence would be in the data centers.
Right.
The robot's just the end effector. But I think perhaps what you may be alluding to here is that regulations are really only put into effect after something terrible has happened.
That's correct.
If that's the case for AI, and we only put in regulations after something terrible has happened, it may be too late to actually put the regulations in place. The AI may be in control at that point.
You think
That is crazy, y'all. Do you hear what he's saying? Like not only is he comparing it to the Terminator, but what he's saying, it wouldn't be like the Terminator, because really it would be the people that, are high ups and these big AI players, if you will, that have the access to that information. But that is crazy what he just said. If we wait until after, it may be too late. Let's listen on.
It is conceivable that AI could take control and reach a point where you couldn't turn it off, and it would be making the decisions for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
No, that's definitely where things are headed, for sure.
You can see Tucker is like, what? 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 Are you serious right now? That's really the way it's headed? You got to give this guy, like I said, you got to get, whether you like him or you don't like him, Elon Musk, you got to give him a little bit of credit. He's an intelligent dude, and everything that he's accomplished. And so, he's saying, yes, that's the way this is headed. It's headed towards destruction. It's going to end up backfiring if we don't put regulations now. Right now is the time. We cannot, with this specific thing, like anything else, we can wait till there's destruction or something bad happens and then put on the regulations, but not with this, because it has the potential to outgrow everything, and then you are in, that's it. It's over. It's learning too fast, guys. There has to be regulations put on. Let's listen on.
The things like say, ChatGPT, which is based on GPT-4 from OpenAI, which is a company that I played a critical role in creating, unfortunately.
Back when it was a nonprofit?
Yes. The reason OpenAI exists at all is that Larry Page and I used to be close friends, and I would stay at his house in Palo Alto, and I would talk to him late into the night about AI safety. And at least my perception was that Larry was not taking AI safety seriously enough.
What did he say about it?
He really seemed to be digital superintelligence, basically digital God, if you will, as soon as possible.
He wanted that?
Yes. He's made many public statements over the years that the whole goal of Google is what's called AGI, artificial general intelligence or artificial superintelligence. And I agree with him that there's great potential for good, but there's also potential for bad. And so if you've got some radical new technology, you want to try to take the set of actions that maximize the probability it will do good and minimize the probability it will do bad things.
Yes.
It can't just be hell for leather. Let's just go, barreling forward and, hope for the best. And then at one point, I said, well, what about, we're going to make sure humanity's okay here. And then he called me a speciesist.
Did he use that term?
Yes. And there were witnesses. I wasn't the only one there when he called me a speciesist. And so I was like, okay, that's it. Yes, I'm a speciesist. Okay. You got me. What are you? Yeah, I'm fully a speciesist. Busted. So that was the last straw. At the time, Google had acquired DeepMind, and so Google and DeepMind together had about 3/4 of all the AI talent in the world. They obviously had a tremendous amount of money and more computers than anyone else. So I'm like, okay, we have a unipolar world here where there's just one company that.
Okay, so this is what it amounts to, guys. Like, I don't want to sit here and listen to this whole video. I just wanted to listen and show enough to get you to understand, like, as this story that I'm about to share of what happened to us and how we got scammed. I'm telling you, like, I'm looking at the bigger picture, right? This is just one instance where we got scammed, or maybe it's one instance that you got scammed, but there's a bigger picture out here of how fast things are rolling. And if there's no parameters, and if there's no, I know I'm saying that a lot, but if there's not any regulations that's put on this stuff, it's going to go downhill really quick. And so I want to share this story with you, though. And it was, really just this past year that it happened to us. And it takes a lot. Listen, it takes a lot to get over on me. I promise. I'm from the city. I grew up in the city. I grew up with people like stealing our bikes and robbing people and getting over on people all day long, every day. It takes a lot to get me. But these scammers are cunning. They play the long game. They play elaborate schemes and not even understand what's going on. You get so caught up in talking to somebody. Maybe you're lonely. Maybe you're hurting from grief, or maybe something's going on where somebody's offering you money or a way out. Whatever it is, these people hook you. They work on people that are vulnerable. They hook you, kind of like the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, right? I mean, we know, like, that's what he did. Like, he created a literal Ponzi scheme, if you will, of working on young girls that were vulnerable, whether they had a jacked up past or father issues, or they had drug addiction in their families, whatever it was. He always kind of gravitated and went towards these girls that had previous issues. And these scammers do the same thing. They will try to seek out and find people, and they're even more cunning now. It's just crazy how it's getting, but they're so cunning. They will rope you in because you're lonely and act like they're wanting to be your boyfriend or husband, and or act like they're going to give you money. And we've even had people where they sent a check. They were like, listen, no, this is legit. I'm real. I promise. Like, they sent this check, and this person that I know almost literally like went to go have it cashed and found out that it was all a lie and that it was all bogus. So it's crazy out there, guys. So the reason for this video today is to share a few practical things that I have learned since we have been scammed. Somebody scammed us of over $5,000, and it was a very elaborate scam. They acted as a third-party person, a whole fake person they created that reached out to us through email and literally said that they had a similar vision as our ministry, okay? And they went on to say they found my song through it all, online, and that his wife had passed away, and that song had helped him get through very hard times. And so it was very cunning, and so we began building this relationship with this person. And he said they had a farm and they wanted to do a lot of the same ministry things that we were doing here and a lot of our vision. And they said, listen, my wife that passed away, Like, that's what she did. We have a farm where we're at. We do all of the ministry things that you guys are doing. It's so wild how I found your ministry, because my wife was doing those same things. And then she got sick with cancer, and we found your song, Brad. And so, I know it would be a great honor to my wife. I'm selling off this farm. We're selling everything because she passed away, and the kids don't want anything to do with it. They're moving on with their lives, and they got their own businesses. And so I'm selling the farm, and I want to donate $5 million to your ministry. And the only stipulation is, could you put because we plan to have this trail of hope on our property, right, where people can walk this trail, and there'll be scriptures every so often that they can read and reflect on that in their life as they're being rehabilitated. And he said the only stipulation is, after we donate this money, we want a bench memorial to my wife on the trail of hope. And we were like, absolutely, it would be a great honor to do that. And so a month goes by, and I cannot get this guy on a video call, which brings me to my first scamming point. Guys, whoever you're talking to, first and foremost, if it's progressing as a serious relationship, whether financially, whether personally, whether relationship-wise, like boyfriend or girlfriend, or you're talking to this person, whatever that thing is, get them on a video call, okay? And you need to be able to tell what is AI and what is not AI, because people can use AI video chat these days, and they can change the voice of anything. It's wild. So you need to make sure that you have an eye for that you can tell what those things are. But you need to get them, that's the first thing, is get them on a video call. If they're hesitant to meet you on a video call and they keep putting it off, something is up. I promise you, something's up. That's my first point. So I could not get this guy on a video call. I couldn't even get him on the phone. It was just emailing back and forth. And so I had red flags the entire time. I knew better, but again, they're so cunning and so crafty that they keep stringing you along, right? That's why they call it catfishing. They keep kind of stringing you along, keep going. And so finally, he was like, man, I'm caught up trying to sell all of our possessions right now. We're selling the estate, selling the farm. I cannot get away from where I'm at right now, Brad, to get out there. But I promise you, as soon as I can, I'm flying into Nashville, and I'm bringing a certified cashier's check for $5 million for y'all's ministry. And so at the same time, I had a couple that were my followers on my online ministry reaching out, asking for help, saying they needed a car because their mom had cancer. So their mom had cancer, and they couldn't give her rides to get treatment. And so we really did feel really bad. These people had been followers of mine for over a year. And so it worked on our heartstrings. And this person that was going to donate $5 million was also friends with them. That's kind of how it all interconnected. It was like this web of lies, right? So it's all connected, and without going into great detail of how it was connected, it was. We were all connected. We all knew each other. And so this guy reaches out, and he says, I'm selling everything at the estate, selling the horses, selling the farm. I can't get away from here, he said, but Brad, this couple really needs help. Is there any way that you guys can help them until I can get there? And then I'll have this certified cashier's check for you. I promise I'll give you that. Plus I'll give you the $5 million. Plus I'll give you whatever you guys can do to help this family out that needs a vehicle to be able to give their mom rides to treatment. And so we were like, okay, we're going to be donated $5 million. These are people that I've known for over a year, but these are kind of unique circumstances. We've got this guy that's going to be donating $5 million, and he's saying, can you please help this family until I can get there? And so we were like, we all agreed that, okay, you know what? We're going to do it with no regrets. Whether the 5 million comes through, that is where we landed. Like, if we're going to help this family, we're helping them because they truly need a car. They truly need a vehicle to give their mom ride the cancer treatments. And I'm not going to have that on my conscience that I could have helped and I didn't. And so we pulled together, we got the money together, and it was not a little bit, it was quite a bit, and we sent it for them to purchase a car. Well, long story short, guys, it was all a scam. It was all a con. It was a long game scam. And this couple from my live stream, it ended up, that was them that was acting as this third party person. There was no farm. There was no person. There was no estate. There was no $5 million. It was them that had created. And I started going back through this person's YouTube account and through their accounts. And I realized it was all brand new accounts. And I was like, okay, somebody just created these. Literally right after we sent the money, I began figuring it out. That, along with there not being any video calls and there being crazy excuses of why he couldn't come on the video. It's the wildest, elaborate story of scamming that I've ever heard of, let alone been the victim of. And so now we're working with law enforcement. We're working with churches that are in this area of these people to try to bring this to an end where they can't do that to anybody else any longer. And it's a process right now, but it's moving forward. And these people continue to reach out to me today apologizing. Actually, as a matter of fact, they sent me money the other day as a payment, a $25 payment, saying, hey, listen, this is... we want to pay back everything that we took, and we don't expect your forgiveness, but it's between us and God. And I'm like, what in the world, man? Are people literally this crazy? Like, are people in the world this crazy? It's crazy, yet they're blasting me on my social media accounts to my followers and trying to tell them that I'm a scammer. And all the while, I have all of this information that I'm keeping, and I have it all stored away in a folder to prove what I'm saying. And so it's just wild. It is wild. I'm telling you, the internet is the wild, wild west, guys. Somebody had to make this video. If I didn't, hopefully there's more people making these types of videos because there are a lot of people being scammed. So my first point, make sure you can get them on a video call. If they come up with an excuse that their dog died, their sister died, this happened, that happened, you better get away. You better run as fast as you can. The second point that I come to that I want to share with you that isn't an absolute, but I believe it will weed out the scammers from real authentic accounts and people. And that is, make sure that you can cross-reference them. Whatever account that you met them on, let's say you met them on TikTok. Make sure that you can find that they have a Facebook account, that it matches the TikTok. Make sure that you can find that they have an Instagram account or a YouTube account or some other kind of account that matches the other account. Also, if they have a bunch of accounts in their name and there's a bunch of this person, I would be very leery. But if you can't find another account on them, like a Facebook or a YouTube, if somebody tells you, oh, sorry, I don't do Facebook, I don't do YouTube, I don't do Instagram, I don't do anything other than TikTok or one account, whatever that account is, I'm telling you, it's pretty much 95% a scam. Like, I guarantee it. So if it's a real authentic person, they're going to have at least a Facebook. You can't tell me that somebody's just going to have a TikTok account. They don't have any other account. That's a bunch of baloney. So one is make sure you can get them on a video call and talk to them personally and weed out that it's not AI. Also, in this scam that I was involved in, the victim of, these people, eventually we did get them on the phone and they used a voice altering system to make their voice change. And I'm telling you, man, it's crazy, a crazy elaborate scam. So make sure that they're not using, you can tell because it's very robotic sounding, the AI voice. And so make sure it's not an AI picture or video chat. Make sure it's not an AI sounding voice. Weed those things out. If you're not sure, send it to somebody that you know is tech savvy. That's what I do. I'm like, hey, I'll send this picture. And they're like, oh, dude, that's AI. A lot of times you can search that picture in AI. So let's say somebody sends you a picture. Copy that picture, keep it, put it into ChatGPT or another AI platform and search it, or search it in Google AI. Search it in Google search. And if that picture is AI, usually it will let you know the percentage. It will let you know like what percentage Google thinks that it is AI. If it's 90% sure, if it's 95, 99% sure. And so I had actually done that. It was a little bit too late. I had to learn these things. So hopefully you can learn through me. But after the fact, I did that, and it showed that it was 99% sure that the pictures I was sent were all AI. And so AI generated pictures. That's another thing. If their profile picture isn't an authentic picture of them or them with their family, if it's like too perfect looking, if it looks like it's like some kind of crazy 4K, 8K resolution and it's just too clear and too perfect, I'm telling you, it's probably AI. So be concerned. Now, there are some people that use a really great camera to get pictures for their profile pictures. That's not abnormal, but you can always tell inconsistencies in an AI picture, like a hand may be a little bit bigger than the other hand, or there may be a part of the picture that's cut off. And so you can really tell if you get an eye for that thing. I've now learned since then, and I've got an eye for knowing AI generated photos, videos, voice generated. And so you just that's the times we live in, though. It's sad. But so first thing, video chat with the person. Make sure it's not anything AI generated. Number two, cross-reference them to another social media account. See if you can find this person. Even Google search them and see if you can find who they are online somewhere other than just one account. If it's just one social media account that they have, I'm telling you, it's fake. It's not real. I don't think so anyway. In my experience, that's the way it's been. Usually people are going to have multiple accounts. I'm not saying always. There's a lot of older people that may only have a Facebook or that may only have, a TikTok. But I'm just talking about the majority of time, it's fake. And the third thing is you need to be able to get them on a call. I mean, that seems like the most simple, right? But they need to be able to talk to you. You need to be able to talk to them on the phone and make sure that their voice is not a different accent from what they've told you, or they're from a different country, or that it's not AI generated voice. And so video call, voice call, other social media accounts. And then if you're still having some red flags, I would call some sort of agency, law enforcement. I wish I would have done this at the beginning. But I would call somebody. If you've sent it to friends and they're not sure and you cannot weed this thing out, then you need to get a hold of somebody that can look up this person and find out if they're real. Because listen, guys, there's trafficking going on. There's people that can take you out, man, and then you're gone. And there's people that will empty you financially. You're just completely, they empty you out and then they move on to the next person. So guys, please, I know this was a little bit of a long-winded video of talking about scam and con artists, but it is real, y'all. It is real. It's the wild, wild west on the internet. Technology is advancing fast. AI is advancing fast. It seems like there's no parameters on anything hardly. Thank God, I feel like YouTube has done a better job at putting parameters up to kind of guard against this, but no platform is perfect. So none of them are. No platform is perfect. And people are scamming people on all platforms. So be careful out there, guys. I promise it's happening to people that never dreamed that they would be scammed. And so it's happening to so many people that I know, even in my circle, that I never would have thought could be scammed. And so don't think that it can't happen to you. Don't be so egotistical or prideful that you don't think it could happen to you and that your situation is real and it's authentic, because I'm telling you, it happens to those people too. It's happening to everybody. It's crazy out there. Y'all, first and foremost, I should have said, stay in scripture, stay in prayer, because The one thing that I know is the Holy Spirit will convict your heart. The Holy Spirit will guide you, even in these things. More than anything else in this world, you will get that red flag or that sick feeling knowing that something is off. And if you're in tune with God, he will stay in tune with you. He will lead you. He will guide you. Stay in tune with the Father. Stay in Scripture. Stay in prayer. Stay in communication to him. He will not steer you wrong. The Holy Spirit will not steer you wrong. Guys, be blessed and stay safe out there, y'all. See you next time.